Who or what was the beast of Gevaudan has puzzled students of the unexplained for more than 2 centuries. Gevaudan is a barren, 75-mile stretch of hills and valleys in the rugged mountain range that runs along the edge of Auvergne Plateau in southern France. In the 1760s, residents of the area were terrorized by a beast that allegedly killed hundreds of people during a bloody 3-year reign of butchery. Werewolf became a cry that terrorized the whole of Gevaudan. Outlying farms were abandoned as the monster preyed upon the peasants. Entire villages were deserted as the beast moved boldly into these communities in search of new victims. On the night of January 15, 1765, when Pierre Chatillon's 15-year-old son did not return from tending to the sheep, he lit a torch and went in search of the boy. The horrified father discovered the mutilated body of his son near the bawling flock. The grieving father carried the body down the slopes to their small farmhouse in the valley. He laid the pitiful corpse on the plankwood floor of his home, covered the boy with a quilt, and slumped sorrowfully into a chair. It was then that he noticed the beast staring at him through a window. The monster had the eyes of the devil himself, and its dark face was covered with hair. The angry farmer dashed to the wall, pulled down a musket, and fired point-blank at the creature. The monster anticipated his attack, though, and dropped down before the musket was discharged. Chatillon testified later, as he reloaded the musket and ran outside, he saw the beast running across the snow toward his orchard. It looked like a man running in an animal's skin. The frightened, grieving farmer heard the howl of the wind, saw the giant footprints being erased in the drifting snow, and reluctantly returned to his home. He knew that it would have been death to follow the creature into the mountains. Shortly after the death of Chatillon's youth, local farmer Jean-Pierre Porquer told authorities that he had been out hunting rabbits when the beast rose up before him out of a nearby thicket. Porquer said that he had fired at the monster, but he was trembling too much from fear to be an accurate marksman. The beast of Gevaudan, he stated to investigators, could run on all 4 legs or upright in a loping, human-like movement. 5 days later, several children were playing in a field outside the village of Chemalilas. Little Jean Pinafio dashed into some brush for concealment during a game of hide-and-seek and found himself confronted by the beast. Although 2 giant hands clamped around his throat, Jean's feeble cries managed to alert his playmates, and they ran into the village for help. Andre Portefeuille, a young farmer, grabbed a pitchfork and stabbed viciously at the monster. Other men from the village soon joined Portefeuille, and with clubs and stones they drove the beast back into the surrounding hills. Portefeuille carried a petition from the villagers directly to Louis XV, and the king ordered a detachment of dragoons to search the mountains of Gevaudan. After the soldiers had left the region, the murderous rampage of the beast increased. The years of 1765, 1766, and 1767 are spoken of as the time of death in the mountains. Parish records reveal daily attacks by the monster, who seemed to choose housewives and children as its principal victims. The Marquis d'Aige organized a posse of several hundred armed men, and after tracking the beast for many days, they succeeded in surrounding the creature in a grove of trees near the village of Le Sage d'Avart. As dusk deepened into darkness, the monster charged its pursuers and was shot down. Jean Chastel was given credit for the kill. According to Chastel's testimony, he had retired a short distance from his companions to read his prayer book. He happened to glance from his devotions and saw the beast coming directly toward him, walking erect. Chastel said that he had prepared himself according to certain ancient traditions. His double-barreled musket was loaded with bullets made from silver chalice that had been blessed by a priest. The bullet from the first barrel of Chastel's musket struck the monster in the chest. It let out a fierce howl and charged its attacker. Chastel aimed the next shot directly for the monster's heart. The monster dropped dead at his feet, the silver bullet in its heart. Since the dramatic final encounter with the beast of Gevaudan, there has been constant debate concerning the type of creatures slain by the Marquis' posse. Some researchers have argued that the beast was some type of rare leopard, others a wild boar with deadly tusks and tough, dark bristles. Chastel himself described his trophy as possessing peculiar feet, pointed ears, and a body completely covered with coarse, dark hair. The general consensus among the members of the hunting party claimed that the beast was a true werewolf, half human and half wolf. It is known for certain that the carcass of a large wolf was paraded through the streets of several villages in the area as proof that the terrible beast had truly been killed. Abbé Porquer of St. Martin de Porcos parish recorded statements from those people who had encountered the beast and survived its attack. He also interviewed members of a posse that had slain the creature. In his final report, he wrote that he remained mystified by the true identity of the beast of Gevaudan. He also noted that certain rumors started that the large wolf carcass had been paraded through the village streets because the actual beast had been too terrible to display. Today, some strongly believe that the wolves were not to blame for the killings, and were just used as scapegoats to ease the minds of terrified peasants. Media such as the TV show Animal X and the movie Brotherhood of the Wolves showcase these theories that something more sinister was at hand. Animal X argues that a lone wolf couldn't possibly be to blame for the killings because of the strange manner in which the victims died. In some of the reported cases with the beast, it was said to have run past livestock and gone right for women, children, and sometimes even full-grown men, attacking the throat and face so viciously that some of the victims were decapitated. While attacking the throat is common for a wolf, running past smaller livestock such as sheep and going for humans is not. Rumors began that the beast was a sign of God's anger at France for Louis XV's decision to accept science into the kingdom. This caused mass hysteria that led to many wolves being killed. Francois Antoine was a well-known wolf hunter who killed 1,200 wolves in his lifetime. He was hired by the king to kill the beast and provided with the best hounds in France, as well as thousands of people to scout the mountain trails. After searching for months, he found nothing more than normal-sized wolves. He left Gevaudan, and his words were, "The beast is no wolf." If wolves were not to blame, then what? There are other rumors that the beast was an exotic animal, such as a hyena or big cat. If this is true, then someone with wealth must have imported and raised the animal that then escaped or was set loose intentionally on the unsuspecting villagers of Gevaudan. That would most likely make the beast of Gevaudan a serial killer, or killers, who raised an animal and trained it to kill people at their discretion. In another segment on the same episode of Animal X, facts about the beast are analyzed by a criminal profiler who notices the attack pattern of the beast is very similar to a serial killer's, with how widespread the attacks are and how organized they were in certain areas. Something also noted in the episode is the area where most of the killings took place resides the home of Jean Chastel, the man recognized for killing the beast. The beast was also killed near Chastel's house right after Francois Antoine, the great wolf hunter, left empty-handed. Did Jean Chastel and others conspire to bring terror and death to the land in some twisted plan to steal power from the king? Could it have been for their own sick pleasure? Were the wolves or some other large animal to blame? Or could there have actually been a monster stalking the hills of Gevaudan? Whether a wolf, man, or other being, cemetery and municipal records attest to the hundreds of people who were killed by the beast of Gevaudan.